What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Save Point Podcast, episode 20. I am Alex. I'm, as always, joined by Sway. And man, we made it, episode 20.
Big
I
2-0.
titled it like The Storm Has Hit. We're here with all these games. We're going to be talking about a lot of the games that have come out over the past couple of days and that will come out, Star Wars Jedi Survivor and stuff. It actually kind of feels right that a nice number in 20, is when this wave hits. Sway, how you doing? I know we talked last week about you're not getting the ones that are happening this week, but oh boy, we got Jedi Survivor to talk about. We got Zelda, Redfall, and stuff. How you doing? And is it exciting that like things are now happening?
Yes, it is. I'm doing well, and it is finally just so exciting to see that gaming is kind of taking off, even in
Yeah,
ways we didn't expect. Like, you know, Hogwarts Quidditch, the Quidditch champions.
yeah,
We didn't see that coming.
yeah.
Like, that's just the icing on the cake of everything that we've gotten this week, everything that we're about to get, and it's just a nonstop adventure, man. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I told the story on the Quidditch stream of I didn't know like how I figured it out. I thought it was a mobile game at first, or I thought it could be a mobile game, and for that to just drop on Monday, and then these play tests, although we're not in it, they're happening over this weekend too. So just all of the, and I was trying to think, because I'm trying to plan like the videos. How often do you have 4 days in a row? Minecraft, Horizon, Crash, and Dead Island. 4 days back to back to back to back. How often does that happen? And now they're not all huge, and some of them I'll definitely play more than others. Crash obviously is limited to just a few days, but I mean this is kind of rare. This is really the first time besides the end of January, right? With SpongeBob, Forspoken, Dead Space. Those are the three, I
Yep.
think, right? Um, so like we finally get it. Like I'm so excited. It's a little stressful because I played Minecraft, and it's like, all right, it is the game I thought it was going to be. So there's really no need to, I'm going to focus on what's coming next. Horizon, I'm not rushing, but I'm not checking my phone. Normally, I go on Twitter sometimes at night when I'm playing games. I'm just playing it. Let's take it all in. And then tonight, I got one mission left in Horizon, and then I got to do Crash's beta, and then you got Dead Island. It's like it's exciting, and even though these games aren't even being like Minecraft Legends was not reviewed all that well. Dead Island is, I think, like a 75, so it's pretty solid. So these aren't like the greatest games of all time, but just to have some things to talk about and to play,
Yes.
is is exciting. So have you seen, when we got a couple news stories and we'll talk about throughout this episode as well. Have you seen anything on, I guess, Minecraft or Horizon? Have you watched any footage? Do you have any kind of up to?
The Horizon DLC looks very, very beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I have been impressed by everything that I've seen. I've been trying to stay away from it because I don't want to be spoiled. I do eventually plan to go play it, but
Yeah.
um, I'm excited about it. I everything I've seen just beautiful.
Yeah, the waters. I mean, I did the short on the water. I did a YouTube short on it, and then I did like a 5 minute compilation clip yesterday, just as a video, and it's insane. And there's debate. People are saying, well, is it really all that much better than how the main game looks? I think so. I think it. Hindsight 2020, and actually, I can't remember what the base game of Horizon looks like because it's been a year, but I do feel it's better. And I also think that like it's a whole new area. Like you literally, I don't know if I love how you do it, but you get transported to a brand new like map. Okay,
Okay.
and it's very vibrant. I think I mentioned that in some video. Like there's just a lot. The colors pop. The blue. There's so much water. Right. It's islands basically. It's just all small islands. So there's water everywhere, which is basically my dream. The clouds. Oh my dear God. The lighting. It's just very bright. Like it's a very, and it's different because you have more like greens, right? There's more like vines and stuff. There's the lava volcano. So it's playing around with a lot of different colors that I really don't think Forbidden West did too much. And also, I'll tell you this: last night, because I played for like 4.5 hours last night, I dove for the first time since last year, and I looked to my wife and I said, "How is this?" I literally said, "How is this possible?" Because I forgot how good they're underwater. It's like being Assassin's Creed I thought was good, and I think it was for the time. Going underwater in Horizon and just seeing like that world where you see like the
Breathtaking.
crocodile machines, and it looks unbelievable. Like I could use the same words over and over to describe it, but I could say it for like hours. I am shocked with how good Horizon looks. Like it's insane. So give me
Guerrilla
3.
Studios know what they're doing, man. Give us
Gorilla,
an
yeah.
Aquaman game or a Namor game.
And yeah, you pitched that last week, and I mean, oh my god! After re-emerging myself and re-submerging myself in the water, yeah, they need to do an Aquaman game. But I'm super impressed. It's a pretty good DLC. It's not as full as I thought. I don't want to give like a full-on review, but I thought there'd be more non-story mission. The story's really good and it's long, but there's really almost nothing else to do besides it. So I almost feel like they built the map and they didn't have time or whatever. But I really liked it. Crash, when we're doing this, Crash Team Rumble is a go. I have not played it yet, but I actually haven't seen a single shred of footage like at all. So going into night, it's going to be my first time. I saw there's videos that were weeks ago kind of leading into it, but I'm freaking pumped to play a little Crash. Then you got Dead Island. What do you think about the reviews? Is it kind of what you like 75? Is that what you kind of expected?
Yes, that reasonably that's what I expected. I think the hype might have gotten to me a little bit, like to the point where I thought that it had a chance of getting higher than that because so many people had so many glowing things to say about it before it came out. And I was just like, okay, it's going to reach higher than what I thought, but it's about where I thought it would be. So I'm not shocked. Only thing that surprises me is that it didn't get a higher score, but that's probably because of the hype that was going around it.
Right. No, I agree. Survivor preloads launch April 25th. Yep. PlayStation game size was right because it's the 25th at 9 p.m. Pacific. So that is midnight Eastern. So it is April 26th. It depends on your time zone. Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? CinemaCon is coming will be spoiled as F with all the people leaking stuff. See, I didn't even know.
Yep. They it's going to be a leak fest.
Still waiting for that Wonder Woman game. I've been thinking about. I think we talked about it last
Summer
week.
Games Fest.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on the show, and I've been thinking about it pretty much every day. Honestly, I think I thought about the Nemesis system like 2 days ago, picking up my daughter. I just was like thinking about outside. Talking about studios made Horizon to make an Aquaman game. Yeah, I mean, you got to finish Horizon. Here's one thing I'll say, and I'll probably end up saying it in my review for Horizon 2. I think this DLC is actually kind of perfect for Horizon because the thing I always talk about is the lore is so deep, but it oftentimes gets confusing and it gets like too muddy. So like when you play Forbidden West, I mean, all these factions, right? All these clans, all the lore of the Far Zenith and all this stuff, it gets messy and it also kind of gets boring. I mean, just flat out honest, I get bored. This DLC, like a 5 to 7 hour thing. It's mainly just you and your ally, Seika. I think is how you say her name. It's just you two. It's talking about the Quen. It's talking about the Far Zenith and Nemesis that's coming, right? The villain that we hear about and is coming for 3. I guess what I'm saying, it's more contained. Like the story feels more contained, and because of that, I'm paying attention. Not just because I'm not on my phone, but I'm paying attention to the lore. So when they're talking about smaller kind of details of the lore of the Quen or whatever, I'm paying attention more. I think it's because it's just kind of short and sweet. It's not 50 hours of all these different characters kind of telling their life story. It's more digestible. So I think the DLC actually works really, really well for that.
Not to mention if it's too expansive, like in a regular game, it's lore everywhere you go if you wanted to. So it's probably like at a certain point, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, sometimes kind of just like tune out. Like it'll be lore everywhere I go. Like it's no way for me to just soak all of this in and be.
And if you put that in DLC and you don't play it, what does that do for 3? Then you're kind of lost. I think you'll need to know like the basics of Burning Shore to get in because I think it does lead in. There is an extra like one step. But it's not too bad. I think you could watch like a 10-minute video and you could be caught up. But yeah, if you pack it too full, then it's like it's required. It's like Kingdom Hearts. You gotta play them to understand, And that while I like that about Kingdom Hearts, very few I think actually do like it.
I like it. I mean, it makes you play through the game. I'm always pro like play through the game. Like anybody
Yeah.
can watch a video, but you will never understand to the point where
Yeah. Yeah.
like how passionate others feel about something unless you played
Right.
it.
Well, and sometimes, these like I think most times you probably can just watch like the movie cutscenes and stuff. But some of the games that have like journals and stuff, you sometimes learn some stuff through journals that the
Yes.
movie compilations on YouTube won't cover. And specifically Kingdom Hearts, in those, I think they're missing journals is what they're called. There's sometimes some very important details about like organization members, and it's like you need to read those. So you need to find like a video of people doing that, or you need to play it. You need to literally play it. So, and by the way, guys, the support already, chat, watching, thank you. It's already doing sweet. Tomorrow's Dead Island 2. It is. I'm pumped. Oh,
Yes.
a bit linear. A lot of talk about this game. It's linear, kind of walks you through different, levels and stuff. I'm honestly hold my hand, I guess. Hold my hand through this game. I don't need a Dying Light 2 in my life like right now. Literally the next couple days. I don't need it to be Dying Light. I don't need a map that's huge, that's 40 hours. It's fine. It's a great game, but I don't actually want that because Jedi Survivor is right around the corner,
Yep. And we're gonna have plenty. I know I'm gonna die plenty of times. And same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm like, mental preparation is needed.
We're getting close, man. I asked in the mod chat, do you guys want anything from Hawaii? Oh my God, no. I'll only speak for myself. If Sway wants something, no,
I'm fine.
You spend your money how you want to spend it. Don't worry about us when going to Hawaii. That's freaking sweet.
We appreciate you though.
Yes. Yeah, you're one of the best ones out there, man. Enjoy Hawaii. You'll have to message to let me know when you leave. I miss Pirates of the Caribbean. God, you don't even know.
Every day. In fact, I just rewatched the first one like last week.
Oh my God. There you go. Give me a Guerrilla Games Pirates of the Caribbean game.
Yes.
We always talk about
the water.
But yeah, the water.
We'll be surrounded by water. Yeah. The whole game.
Come on. Do we have any major plans for the summertime? We've actually, you and I have talked about it behind the scenes. We're both doing kind of mini vacations, not overlapping, but actually almost one leading into the next. We'll have to record some episodes. If you want to say whatever, you can say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to California.
Oh, he said game-wise.
Game-wise. Okay.
We're going to get super personal. Whoops.
Game-wise, Street Fighter, obviously.
Yes.
Starfield, Spider-Man. Like I plan to branch out more than that as far as like with games, but the big heavy hitters, those are the ones where it's like my mind is on them and like nothing else almost, like specifically Spider-Man and Street Fighter. Starfield is huge. I know I'm going to probably enjoy that a lot, but Spider-Man, like him and Nightwing are my two favorite superheroes. So it is going to be, Spider-Man there, Spider-Man PlayStation. I spent $600 alone on Spider-Man PS4 2018. So that tells you right there how insane I go for Spider-Man. So I'm not looking forward to it. I hope there's no special edition plates. No, I know there's going to be a collector's edition. No collector's box. Please save my pockets.
What's exciting about this, like where we're at now, is like we really have. It's not, I like to exaggerate obviously when I talk and stuff, but we really are there because you think about it. There's all these games this week, next week, the week after is Redfall, week after that Zelda. So already now every week there's something every single week, and then when you get into the second half of May, it does slow down a little bit, but you got like Texas Chainsaw has a technical test during that time. And you also have the lead up to June. So I think like the second half of May, even though it's quieter, you have the whole lead up to June and all of that, which is all these shows. So all these predictions of what's going to be shown. And then you have June, which is actually a very meaty month with Street Fighter, Diablo, Final Fantasy, Crash. Like there's a lot on top, and those are huge. On top of all of the shows, we could get 30 new games announced in June. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. And that carries over a little bit to July. Then we have that Immortals game that you and I had watched, last week. That game is in July. And then August is Texas Chainsaw. And then September, Starfield and Spider-Man. Like, we don't really know for sure. But then it's pedal to the metal, you're good till December, and then hopefully it resets for January. So like besides maybe a couple weeks in July, I think we're good for the next like 8 months, which is thank you finally, because it's been tough. I'll be honest.
I'm seeing a lot of GTA 6 in the chat.
Okay, you want to talk about GTA 6? We'll do it.
My bold prediction for GTA 6 is, I don't even know if it's bold at this point, but Summer Games Fest. I mean, it's big to the point where I feel like they would want to announce that at
I think
Game Awards.
Yeah,
but I feel like news does a lot of things for companies and for content creators. And if you just put out, like, even if it's just whether if it's a release date with no trailer or an announcement, official announcement of GTA 6, even if you just do that at Summer Games Fest and just put out like a background or something, you're gonna have the amount of theory videos you're gonna have. Like, this is where it's gonna take place because of this here. And now I'm like, so it's, I think for marketing reasons, they might put out something in Summer Games Fest, but I believe like the big reveal will probably come at Game Awards.
I've stayed true. I wanna stay with it. I think the Game Awards. It's his 10th anniversary. Huge, right? That's such a big number, and GTA is you can't really get bigger than announcing a GTA game. You know what I mean? So I just feel like because of that, it's a 10-year anniversary. That's a really big number and a powerful number. And then there's no bigger game. And to have them line up where you could do a GTA 6 announcement this year and it makes sense, how can you let that, as Jeff, I'd be on the phone every day, which maybe he is, I don't know. But that's the thing, right? That's what I talk about with Summer Game Fest. Like all these games that we're going to hear about for the first time, we could see Indiana Jones. Can we see that game? Obviously
Please.
Sony's going to have a lot, but I feel like we neglect a little bit of some of the backlogs of Xbox. There's so much that can happen. Even like at Ubisoft, like can we see the team that's making The Division? They're making a Star Wars game, right? Massive energy. So can they show us that? Like June's going to be huge, and that'll lead, right? Because a lot of these games could come out in the fall. Avatar, Assassin's Creed, a lot of Ubisoft games, and then you go into next year for. Can we see Judas again? Can we see BioShock? Like Wonder Woman, obviously. So there's a lot. And then the Game Awards concert. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
Because like I know in Japan when they do concerts, like they actually do announcements with them as well. Kingdom Hearts, Persona. But I feel like this is going to be kind of just straightforward, like literally just music, which is the music, the orchestra that Jeff normally puts together is awesome. So it should be something worth going to. But in terms of like game announcements, I forgot. Hades 2 was announced. So Hades 2, like, is that an early access this year? Like, there's just games like that I forget about so often. Outlast.
So
Trials.
many of them.
Yeah, like Outlast. There's just a lot of games that I forget happen. A lot of people complaining about the blue check marks over on Twitter as I'm checking it for news here. In terms of Jedi, we've talked about it here and there in these past streams, but obviously next week, when we go live next week, it'll be like a day before. How you feeling? We're 8 days out.
Man, it's I didn't expect to feel this strongly the closer I got to this game. It was never one of those games where I was like, oh my God, it's like an emotional thing because, we're just getting here. It took so long. Like, no, it didn't take that long at all in the grand scheme of things. But it's like the closer I'm getting to it, I'm like, the stories, the way that they can go, like the directions they can go with the stories, who can die, who's going to live, like, and then the gameplay, like the stuff that they can innovate with, the stuff that we've already seen, the stuff that we heard about. Like they said that in the showcasing that a lot of the media got to go to, there's an ability where Kyle can like force push like everybody up in the air and hold them there and take out his blaster and just pow. And I'm just like
a Deadeye.
Yeah. And I'm just like, that is insane. Like it start with like he's using the force with the pistol. Like I can't wait for it. As you can tell, I'm excited. But I
did we talk about last week what stance you're gonna use? Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
What's so we know you can, I believe, only have 2 equipped. Is it 2?
2 equipped. 2 equipped.
What's when you unlock all 5? What's gonna be your go-to combo? You think?
Probably dual wielding and double bladed.
Okay.
I'm gonna try the
I think I
blaster
may
because I
agree with
want
that.
to, but
Yeah.
I think dual wielding and double bladed.
The
Double.
blaster one it's so elusive because we haven't
Yep.
seen. They've purposely hidden it. Single, obviously classic, but we had it. The cross guard, I definitely want to try it out. Like for
Yeah.
sure, I want to be a little Kylo Ren out there. But yeah, I think I'd actually do exactly the same as you. The thing
The
with the
cross guard is
the
also
Darth
heavier
Maul one.
too.
Go ahead. What?
Cross guard is also heavier too, and
Yeah.
that's probably what deters me. I like to move in games,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I always struggled with the double bladed, like Darth Maul's. I always because that's more for like crowd control. It doesn't do as
yep.
much damage. Yeah. So I remember like even the first time I played Fallen Order, second time when I did it like a month or two ago, I think I used it a little bit more. But even when I unlock it, I normally didn't use it. It's so cool to look at. I think some of the new things we've seen Cal do with it look really cool and probably cooler than other stances or styles. But it's always been like difficult for me to play it, literally play it. So.
It was my primary stance that I used in the first
Okay.
game. Unless
What was your color? What was your color?
Oh, I kept everything traditional blue.
Okay.
Everything traditional. I am anything that I can get the closest to Anakin Skywalker, that's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
Like even with the dual lightsabers, I think I'll just to have that Clone Wars moment where he actually did before he got his arm chopped off. Go blue and green just cause.
Oh my god, yeah. we haven't seen we haven't seen that, right? When they've done dual, it's always been both blue.
The same colors.
Yeah, the same for both, but you could one red, one purple, like oh my god. They should do that. But you know what? I don't think they did that for like in the first game, they didn't do it for the double, did they? You couldn't have it be two different colors. So that'd be something I'd like to, I assume, considering all of the customization they've talked about, that you'll be able to individually, kind of do your lightsabers. Yeah, that'd be freaking. So I actually did not think about that. That
and
makes
the customization is insane this year. Way better than I thought they were ever going to go with it.
Yeah, I don't know about Cal with the full beard though. Like I don't think I'll ever do it, to be honest.
No.
Like I enjoy seeing other people, but I think I'm gonna keep him he's like 25. I guess I'm 26 and I do this, but I think I'm gonna keep him like very clean shaven my version.
My first playthrough, I always play any game, I always play through them as the way that they're intended to. So however he comes in the game, and if they progression, like say if you play a mission and they give you a suit then and there, I'm just going to keep that on because I'm assuming that that's the suit that the story would have had anyway. I think the only game that I didn't do that with in recent memory was Gotham Knights, and that's because the Jim Lee suit was just too good to pass up.
Excited for Spider-Man 2 content. Yeah, and we had a little bit of news with Yuri Lowenthal last couple of days. I think who can make a Green Lantern game and its digital experience who made Warframe, which also happens in space. Ooh. And Warframe is it stayed around. Warframe is for not being like one of the top, like maybe it's in like 11 to 15 kind of range, not like the top 10. It's stuck. Like that game has lasted. I remember when that game came out and it just kept lasting like way longer than I ever thought, it could or it should or anything like that. But yeah, we'll definitely cover GTA quite a bit. And that's an exciting thing for us too, as well. Like doing the show, like the more stuff there is to talk about, I think the bigger potential there is for the show. Kingdom Hearts, I wouldn't worry too much about. Just let it cook. Just let
it cook. Yeah, it'll get here when it gets here. I just hope that a lot of pressure isn't put on it because that's kind of my fear with Grand Theft Auto 6 is when you wait for something. When you have a lot of people wait for something so long, it becomes almost impossible for it to ever live up to the hype because it's always your imagination is running wild, and at that point you've had years to let your imagination run wild. So I hope that they put out the best product that they can and people just kind of channel their expectations.
We can't talk about the personal ones. Well, we alluded. We're both doing different vacation-y things. Try your hand in content stuff. Very nice. A content creator. I've had people that have watched said, they do their own stuff, and I always wish them the best. And I think go for it. Even if it's just a hobby, just something kind of fun to do. Turn on the camera and doesn't have to be good. To be honest, doesn't have to be good quality. It could be rough. You're just getting into it, If both of these games were announced, which would you be most excited for? Oh, maybe like a group of them. Okay, so out of Aquaman, got GL, Green Lantern, Aquaman, yep. Green Lantern, Nightwing, GTA, next Half-Life, and Red Dead 3. You can only pick one? Oh my god. I feel like Half-Life would kind of be it would be transcendent. Like we'll never get another Half-Life game. So if we did, and I'm not talking like Half-Life Alyx, I'm talking about Half-Life 3. You know what I mean? I'm not even that into it, but I think that would be like
the one you're most excited for.
Yeah.
I think for me, because it's the excitement, there's only one thing on this list that can get me like the maximum level of excitement, and it's the Nightwing game. It is. It's actually possible now. Before a couple of months ago, I wouldn't say it was, but because of in the comics right now, after the Crisis event, the Justice League are taking a temporary leave of absence, and Nightwing is actually the lead. Like the Titans are taking the Justice League's place temporarily, and Nightwing is the leader. And because of how much push he's getting lately, I feel like a video game is more likely now than it ever would have been. Before, I would have told you, like, no, they would never do it. But now, maybe like 1%.
I mean, if you go super far out, Red Dead 3 intrigues me because you think about how they'll push in GTA. Yep. And you think about what Red Dead 2 already did. And then you think, okay, another 6 years, what does Rockstar, what can they evolve and be the trendsetters for Red Dead 3? I mean, the potential there. I think Red Dead 3 would have the most potential of any of these games.
Honestly, I would love to see Rockstar come out with an entirely new IP.
Same.
I would love a Red Dead 3, but I would like them to just throw a curveball and just do something different.
It's the tragedy of getting this big, and like I think Bully 2 makes so much sense and works so well.
A lot of sense.
And even I can never say it right. Do you know how to say it? Noir.
Noir.
No, how do you say it?
Noir.
Noir. I have to just beat in my head. I think that game is spectacular. I have a lot of love. So and the plan was to make more. So I really would like them to dip their toes back into that stuff. But alas, it's just GTA and Red Dead back and forth. Which is it's tough because those games are so good and they do push everything. But a Bully 2, come on, let's be real. Bully 2, I think, would be better. I think if Bully 2
Hogwarts Legacy made me want a Bully 2 even more.
Yeah. Bully 2 would stomp so many games that are out. For him, it's the Green Lantern. Green Lantern would be sweet in terms of creativity of what he could, create and stuff. GTA needs to have a city. Needs to have every city that has ever been already in a GTA. Yeah, that's the thing. I think GTA will do pretty okay with combating expectation. Like if I can think of a game that does have over the moon expectations for it that will actually reach them, I think Rockstar can easily. I think that's kind of just what's expected of them if they do that.
Yep.
There's some stuff that they'll push in terms of like how AIs behave and stuff. You can only really imagine, but you can't do it yourself. You can't see it. So when they do it, then you'll be kind of, you'll be blown away when there's unique conversations or when you can go into certain buildings or whatever. And whatever they do with the city AI, you can think of ideas all you want. They'll actually do it and it'll be good. And I think that's kind of like that counter to it. And they're really the only ones I can think of that can do it. Only watch the Game Awards for announcements. Well, the concert's new. This is the first year. Well, this is the first year he's doing a concert separately.
Yeah.
Mage Seeker. It's a Riot game that dropped a few. Have you heard of that? I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I have not seen any gameplay, but I do have a friend that has told me about that.
Really? You got your in. You got your in, kinda. Jedi Redemption. Very smart. That's exactly it.
That's exactly it.
Last of Us 3 around 27, 28. Yeah, I think 27
Yeah.
sounds about right. Um,
I hope it's a prequel.
hope it's a prequel. Oh
I hope it's
man,
a prequel.
I doubt it. How do you feel about you specifically? How do you feel about Last of Us 2?
Okay, so I'm very not divided necessarily, right? I think that in two different ways, it's kind of quite the opposite as far as my opinion goes. One way is that I feel like The Last of Us 2, if you change absolutely nothing but put a game in front of that game. So basically make The Last of Us 2 as it is, nothing changed as The Last of Us 3, and there is a game in between them. I believe that every criticism for the most part that everybody had would have easily been more like easier to take in for a lot of people. Not just the death, but like you could use that game to show Joe starting to soften up on humanity and maybe let his guard down a little bit more versus it's, when you're just going into the second game and he's willy-nilly just giving out his information, even though there's a time jump, the player didn't see any of that. He didn't see it. We didn't get to see any of that growth or that evolve. It just it was out of left field for a lot of us. We were like, he would have never done this. It was a lot, and that was the problem with a lot of the game, was like a lot of this stuff would have not have happened like in the first game, judging off of what we know from these characters. So the game constantly felt like, to me, like there was always something missing, like we missed something. And so because of that, I did not like The Last of Us 2, but I can acknowledge that that game was a very good game. I just think that because they wanted to do a lot of things and push a lot of story beats and a lot of storylines before they were ready, it kind of ruined the experience for a lot of people. So that's why I didn't enjoy it, but I could easily see myself loving it more if that was the third game and there was a game in between it too. Because a lot of players also only got one game with Joel, and
Right.
everybody really loved Joel. And that's the other thing. It's just you got a lot of big decisions were made, and you made us play as somebody that we did not know who killed Joel, and it was a lot of off-putting things. Ellie never got closure, so that's why I say like that game could have benefited a lot from just having a game in between.
There you go. Have you seen the new gameplay for Immortal? I did. I don't know if Sway did, but I did see the 6 minute. Yeah. I'll be honest. Okay, if I'm being flat out honest, I liked the gameplay shown in the trailer more than just kind of raw footage. However, I saw Doom a lot in this gameplay. Like it was like, okay, this is Doom with it, and I said it on our Quidditch live stream that we just did. Doom is really the perfect game, like at this. Doom Eternal, that is the game that you can't really beat. So, just in terms of the fluidity, the enemies, swap it, how they kind of keep things fresh. This game doesn't have it, and you can kind of tell because it's kind of like one enemy at a time. It's not as like fluid or flawless, but it still looks fun. Like like the release date, July 20th, I think. There's no games. There's no games in July. I think I'm getting it just because. Like, why not?
Yep. Why not?
Unless I'm trying to save money in mid-July, but if not, I'm gonna get it honestly. So, do you think? Is the game single player only? Do you think it should have been multiplayer included? Because it feels like it could have, and they don't.
I think that the way that the gameplay is constructed, it would have lended itself to multiplayer to the point where I expected there to be. And when I found out that it was single player, I was kind of shocked.
Yeah. Like even Doom had multiplayer, and it's quite good. Like it's actually really good. So maybe they'll add it. But yeah, I overall like it. Star Wars will be there. A Left 4 Dead 3. Yeah, I think you could have put a Left 4 Dead 3 on that list of like what would excite people. You knew Sway would say Nightwing.
I think everybody the fix is in on me. You know me too well.
Yeah. Rockstar was rumored to be making a medieval game. Ooh, oh, come on. Give me it. Oh yeah, I think I heard that rumor. I mean, let's do it. You got past with that. You got less past with Cowboys and Western. And you got the present with GTA. Then you just need a futuristic one. What are you thinking about Zelda? While I kind of look through the rest of these comments here, how you feel? We're a few weeks out. I'm sure we'll maybe have a almost entire show just on Zelda, but knowing it's coming, like, how do you feel?
Tears of the Kingdom, I'm excited for it, but I feel like we talked about this before. Like, my excitement level for Jedi Survivor, and I don't know if that's because it's coming out first, or I know for a fact I'm definitely more interested in the story of Jedi Survivor and the elements of the game more than I am in Tears of the Kingdom right now. But because of that, I feel like I am unable to really gauge my true excitement level for that because there's something coming out before that I'm just more excited for. But the possibilities of Tears of the Kingdom, like new gameplay features, getting into the story more, seeing, just from the trailer that we seen last week, there's a clear evolution of the characters, and just seeing how time has changed not only the characters but the landscape of everything. Ganon's back again, and I just can't wait to get into it, but I can't really. It's like tunnel vision. I can't see anything past Jedi Survivor right now.
Yeah, well, it's good to keep your mind in the moment and in the now versus yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before. Like, when Zelda comes out, like it or not, the world stops for Zelda. I think there's a reason why when I go through, as we did about 20 minutes ago, you think about every week, right? You got something going, and then where's that gap? It's right after Zelda, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's on purpose. You know what I mean? And now Amnesia, the bunker does come out after it, about a week or so later. That's an interesting. I like the Amnesia games, but you think about these big releases. It's Zelda, and then really it's a huge break until you get to Street Fighter. You kind of reload, then you get Street Fighter and Diablo. And June, they don't care as much about being scared of each other because you got Street Fighter and Diablo a few days. Crash doesn't care. Final Fantasy doesn't care. They're all coming out soon. I think games are legitimately scared of Zelda, which you should be. You honestly should be.
I realized they were scared when you really take the time to look at the date that Jedi Survivor is coming out, right? There's no reason why you couldn't wait 6 days to May the 4th. That is the Star Wars holiday. May the 4th be with you. And you 6 days earlier, I was like, okay, yeah, this is serious. Not even them are confident in this.
Yeah. Would you want to see a KOTOR adaptation as a trilogy of films or a TV show? I'd love to see it as a TV show since you get more time covering everything. And second season could be KOTOR 2. I just want another game or a remake. Give me that. Yeah. I definitely prefer that over the medium of like Hollywood. But I actually would almost trust movies for it more. That makes sense. I just feel like the shows, with the way Star Wars is, I don't really have a lot of confidence that they could keep it entertaining or anything. I think show, obviously, because it would flesh it out more. But I actually think current day right now, I think movies, it'd be more like safe. Like, I'd feel better about it. I don't know.
Same. Knights of the Old Republic needs to be handled with care.
How'd you feel about Hogwarts?
So here's my thing with Hogwarts, right? And I think that I finally pinpointed why I'm taking so long to beat it. If you guys remember, like, when it came to Callisto Protocol, took me a while to beat, and that's because I was kind of saving it until there was other stuff to come out.
Yeah.
And now that, like, Jedi Survivor is, like, on the cusp of coming out, I find myself playing through Hogwarts Legacy significantly faster. And I think that that's probably subconsciously what it was. That, and probably like a little bit of like slight game, like not burnout, but more so like just taking a break and just, like between work and stuff like that. But like, now that Jedi Survivor is about to come out, I have a real like urgency to beat it now. Yeah. So but I legitimately mean, like, genuinely, I have loved everything that I have played so far in Hogwarts Legacy. I truly do love that game. It the perfect mixture of nostalgia, innovation. They try everything, like you said, Alex. They try everything, and a lot of things are average, but it's a well-rounded game, and I do love being in the Wizarding world. And I think that because of me, like, we don't have any new Harry Potter games. We didn't have any Harry Potter media in, outside of the last movie with Dumbledore. So Harry Potter content is kind of scarce versus like Marvel or even DC or anything you go like Star Wars, even like it's scarce. So I kind of just want to make it last a little bit. And then after that, now we got Quidditch. And I think that's the other thing, the other factor that's going into it now is like there's something else in the Wizarding world coming out. So it's like, to me, you can beat this game now. Like it's gonna be okay. Like
yeah, I totally get that. Any movies you're looking forward to? Fast 10 is Fast.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I have to. I am getting very excited for Guardians, and I have largely checked completely out of Marvel. I really don't care. Mm-hmm. But Guardians, I have the tickets; they're booked. I'm ready, But Fast 10, come on, that trailer, yes. So
Jason Momoa has sold me as a villain on that.
Jason Momoa, man, they literally just told him be a Joker, pick a Joker, and be like literally like that's how it was pitched, kind of in like the leaks before the trailers came out. It's like, man, you better be careful they're not gonna like sue you, because he literally acts like the Joker. It's like if you put Mark Hamill's version or whatever and you just drop them into a Fast and Furious film, how would Joker like respond to it? You literally see that, which is just so, I mean, look, I'm not oblivious. Like, it's so stupid. But it's so amazing. So, I mean, nothing gets me honestly more excited than seeing a trailer for Fast and Furious. Let's see. Aquaman 2. I just can't get Dune 2. That's an interesting one.
Dune 2. Follow you. Dune 2. I am excited for. To be honest, my most anticipated movie, and it kills me to say this.
That's gonna be The Flash.
The Flash is. I really do love what I'm seeing from the trailers and everything that's just been reported about the movie. I just hate that Ezra Miller is attached to this. But I can't deny that I am entertained between that and Blue Beetle for me, honestly. I think between those two movies, I'm very excited. Aquaman 2, I just can't. Even like the reporting is that it's a disaster. David Zaslav recently,
he hates it.
He hates it. And so I'm like, I do not. And keep in mind, like, the difference. James Gunn said that The Flash was like one of the best comic book movies he ever watched. He has said nothing about Aquaman 2. That is very telling to me. Even like Shazam, he spoke differently of Shazam than he did The Flash. So that speaks volumes to me. Like, it doesn't put much confidence in me for Aquaman 2.
That I'll be honest, it kind of made me smile seeing those rumors that Aquaman 2 is not doing great. But I like Jason Momoa a lot, and I still like Aquaman 1. I think James Wan is a great director. I really like him, and he's done a Fast and Furious movie. He's also created his own, the horror universe that we know of it. I mean, he's done so much. So I don't want it to like burn, but at the same time, it has Amber Heard in it. So I don't really care. I don't care what happens to Aquaman 2, I guess, is like as just kind of flat, blatantly. Like I'm not gonna see it. Period.
Yeah, it's got certain things with that last regime. Yeah, that last regime of Warner Brothers. I think that when I think of Aquaman, because of Amber Heard's being in there and just certain, I just feel like it's that last regime. You know what I mean? It's kind of even the same thing with Ezra Miller, kind of. But at least with The Flash, it looks like a good movie from the trailers, at least. So it's just like it's, that last regime is still there when you look at it. But with Aquaman, you just can't get over it. It's like it's in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, I refuse to let it go. When you guys see Horizon 3 getting announced, probably not all that, maybe a year or two. The silence thing, like the Lance Reddick thing, is going to be tough. Let me tell you, non-spoiler, he's big. Like in Forbidden West or in Burning Shores, he starts it. He starts the quest, and he kind of sets it up for what his. And I haven't beaten it, but I've seen like the end, or I've heard of some of the things about the ending, and it sounds like he's very vital to 3, like the plans of. So like Nemesis, right? This like
Yep.
AI devil is coming. Basically, Silence is the one that's gonna like find and craft the weapon that can defeat him, and Aloy's gonna help. And it's like, okay, that sucks because they thought they had him, right? I mean, you make it and you know you have him, so of course he's gonna be a huge part. He's a huge character. You can't kill him off because you've kind of established him as this genius that's like smart, and he at the ending of Forbidden West, he's the one who creates that is like a pulse grenade basically that lowers the
Mm-hmm.
defenses of all. Like he's very intelligent. You can't make 3 without him. So you can't
The,
kill him, at least in the beginning.
no,
You know
I
what I
think the
mean?
only time he's going to be safe to die is probably either when the weapon is in its last phase of being built
Yeah,
and it doesn't
yeah,
take a genius to finish it,
yeah,
or after the weapon is built.
yeah.
He's
He
pretty
could
safe throughout the
sacrifice
game.
himself or whatever, but what do you do in that intern like AI voice? I think you could do it. He talks. He's a really good actor, and his accent for Silence is really cool. I don't know how monotone it would sound if you have AI do it. I don't know how advanced AI is. I think you could get away with it if you AI'd his voice. His face,
Mm-hmm.
though, he looks like him. So what do you do there? You got to get a double in to do motion capture. I feel. I mean, it sucks that he died. I mean, in the first place, he was like
Yeah,
60 years old. That's way too young. But they are in a tough spot. I'm
very
sure they've
tough.
already decided. Like at this point, it's been like a month, which doesn't seem like all that long. But like, when you're in this industry, hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm sure they had a meeting immediately and they figured out, okay, we're doing AI mixed in with this, or we're gonna kill them off, or whatever. They had to have picked already, which sucks that they even have to do that. But what can you do?
What can you do?
Should Life is Strange get adapted? It shouldn't, but it is. So
Yep.
there is that TV. There's TV shows for like 15 different games that are kind of like secondary, like not the God of Wars. There's like another level, Life is Strange being one. Um, and I don't know why, because we know how they're mostly gonna go. There's no way. I mean, like, look, Last of Us pulled it off, but when you do like 15 of them, you know what I mean? It's like try
There's going to be
doing
a
that.
lot of duds.
Yeah, try doing that 15 times, and you tell me how many are gonna be. I think
Look at the
Twisted
track
Metal is gonna
record
kind of
on.
be the
Yeah,
wake up
look at the
call.
track record of movies.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss. Like I think Twisted Metal will be okay, but I think you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna look at it and say this is so much worse than Last of Us, and that's gonna kind of be the shock where okay, you kind of go not just Sony, everybody's going all in on this, and there's gonna be some misses. BioShock, I really hope they do BioShock right. I think it's a movie, that Netflix movie, but we've seen how they've done like Cowboy Bebop, and the rumors of One Piece are a freaking disaster. That show is
Netflix has literally done no justice to anime. None. I have no faith in them. I think honestly, the only company that can make movies off of games and they can't miss is Nintendo.
yeah.
And that's because they will always stay in their lane.
Yeah, just kind of quietly. Oh, this is a good one. Do you think Palpatine will be in Jedi Survivor? I've seen people ask. This is not like that uncommon. I don't think so, but it could happen. What do you think?
I could see him being in there via hologram. I could
Okay,
see him. I can't see him being there in
like
person. The
walking up.
reason,
Yeah,
yeah, like because the only reason why is because unless you're going to kill Kyle, which I just wouldn't do,
yeah,
you can get a trilogy out of this. Why not?
yeah,
He's too powerful with the Force to not notice you, to not sense that you're around. You know what I mean? And I don't think like where Kyle is in his life right now. I couldn't also see like his character passing up on the opportunity to take him out, uh, either, because he's the emperor. So
Yeah.
I can't see Palpatine being in there outside of like a hologram where you see him, giving an order in or something like that. I could see Darth Maul. I could
Yeah.
see Obi-Wan even in passing. Like I could see Obi-Wan with the cloak on and like, maybe it's listed under stranger or something like that.
Yeah.
And he gives you a line of dialogue that indicates like, oh my God, that was Obi-Wan, but they don't really tell you. I could see
Yeah.
stuff like that, but like Palpatine just outright being in the open and you're passing them, like he would have to be a great distance away in order for them to pull that off.
Yeah, that's a really I didn't actually think about that, but that's a great point. I think Maul. I really think Maul is the most likely if I were to make like a
Mm-hmm.
tier list, and I think you could do it. Like, come on, that'd be so freaking sweet. Okay, I'm a fan of Harry Potter. What do you think if Dr. Fate, Zatanna, and Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch showed up in the Harry Potter universe? Who would be the strongest or the best teachers? Well, I'm a really big fan of Scarlet Witch, and Elizabeth Olsen. So I think I would pick Scarlet Witch of that group. What do you think,
I
Sky?
I would probably have to go Doctor Fate. He's just
Ooh,
more.
okay.
It would be Doctor Fate or Doctor Strange, but I feel like Fate is more
I don't think Scarlet Witch
complete.
would be like a good teacher. I actually think she'd kind of be like
No,
unhinged, and I wouldn't trust her. But I think I'd like to see her the
when
most.
it comes to like all of them in their craft, traditionally Doctor Strange is, like he comes into this and he has to learn it, as
Yeah,
to where Fate, it's literally the helmet. It doesn't matter who's in the helmet itself keeps that knowledge, and that would be the best teacher for you because
yeah,
it has decades and generations of knowledge that none of them could compete with.
yeah. Um, what's going on, buddy? To be honest, 70% of people on Earth either don't know or don't care about Ezra Miller. Don't get me wrong. I don't say Ezra will do a comeback because he's a scumbag, but I think Flash could get No Way Home treatment. Yeah, I
It's
definitely
looking
don't think
like it.
I don't think Ezra carries the same as like I think if you didn't know about the Johnny Depp stuff, you certainly did when the trial happened. Because I think the world really watched that trial, which is great, and
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted that to happen. Yeah, Ezra, I just don't think is important enough for people to care. With that being
Yep.
said, Ezra did potentially worse things than Amber Heard did. Maybe, like I'd say they're kind of two of the same crop of individuals.
I will say he didn't chop somebody's finger off.
He didn't chop, but he beat people
Yeah, he did.
like in public multiple times and
Yep.
kidnapped babies.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
oh my
So
gosh.
grooming children. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think
So
that we should make a
he's
tier list of who's worse. I do think Ezra is probably the worst of the two. But at least Ezra has admitted. You know what I mean? Amber is like denied. So Amber is just a liar. Whereas
and went into
Ezra,
hiding.
yeah. So I'd say maybe that. Have we seen the leaks of the ending of the Flash? I feel like there's been like 15 waves of leaks
Yes.
of like it was gonna be this, and they took it out. Like Wonder Woman was gonna be in the ending, or something. They took it as Superman was supposed to live. Now he died. I don't keep up with it.
Blue Beetle, there's literally nothing to my knowledge yet. So
Yeah,
but the Flash has had quite a few, to the point where it's like even in test screenings, there's been quite a few conflicting endings and things that happened in the movie. So I think that they have a lot of things filmed, honestly, and they don't know which one they're going to use probably.
yeah. Do you think we ever see Cal in live action? Yeah,
Oh, for
I think they've.
sure.
I think they've hinted. I think he'll be in it.
That's why I don't think they're going to kill him.
Yeah, which like I like it, but I love Ahsoka. Okay, I want to start. I love Ahsoka so much, but we can't have too many of these characters that are like unkillable and they transcend all these different eras. Now, I guess Ahsoka is different because of her species and she can live longer. Cal can't. So Cal, you really, even playing by the rules, you don't have him forever. So I guess
Yep.
that's maybe in favor. I just don't want it to be where you. I guess okay. What I'm saying is, I don't want it to be where you feel you can't kill Cal because you're
Mm-hmm.
planning 15 movies. You know what I mean? The Hollywood. So in the third game, if their plan was originally to kill him, which maybe it is, go do it. You know what I mean? Don't have Disney step in and say, well, here's the thing. We want to do 3 seasons of his own show. We want to put him in the Mando movie. We want to do, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm not for that. And it's really the same thing for Ahsoka. She's been around longer. She can live longer, so it's okay. That's what I do not want them to do with Cal, and I really think they will do that. Like, I think that's Hollywood.
I think what we need with Cal and even Ahsoka is a defense. Like, for example, the original trilogy, when it ends, we know when Darth Vader dies. We know when Palpatine dies. If we can get a pinpoint, I still don't count that sequel trilogy. If we can get a pinpoint of when they die, or you know what I'm saying, like, and how long they live, I think that's easier to stomach, because it's like Obi-Wan. We know when Obi-Wan dies, so now we know, okay, if we're getting a game here and Obi-Wan shows up, we're playing, loose with the time period. Right. But it's not an immortal thing, and I think that's what we need right now. Because right now he feels invincible. But also the thing about that is, if you do that, then he's not going to die in the game or a movie that he's in.
Right. Yep.
So it's.
I think it's like is it the world between worlds? Is that what it's called? When she fights, I think she should have died there. That would have been the definitive end, and then you could play around with before that. That should have been where she died. My opinion, I suppose. Are you a fan of Life is Strange?
I do like Life is Strange. I've only played the first one, so that's
True Colors. True Colors is really good. I'll say that. I like True Colors,
but I do like it.
Take a hike. But no, one's ingrained for me. Do an AI president's tier list of which actor in Hollywood is the worst in terms of their behaviors. I know, joke. I think was thinking of doing something like that, where making a video on just like the worst people in Hollywood. No joke. Like, I think I thought that. All right, we're closing in on an hour. This has been like a blast. Let's do our wrap ups. But just so you guys know, I mean, now we have a group here. We want this to become a reoccurring thing. I think we've pretty much planned on doing it pretty much every week. In the summer, that'll be harder. Those will have to be pre-recorded episodes for like that stretch that we're gone. But I love doing this. So, Sway, anything you want to say before we go?
Love the live stream format. As long as we can do it, I'll continue to do it. I love having you guys here. I love the interactivity. I love the questions that you guys ask. I love being here with Alex. I'm just very appreciative. So thank you guys so much for the support. I love you all.
Yeah. So next week will be a day before Jedi Survivor. In a perfect world, it's boost my ego. In a perfect world, I'd have the game by then. So I'd actually would want nothing more than to not be able to speak on it. But who knows? Who knows what happens. But next week will probably be more Jedi focused. We got Zelda coming up. We'll talk about that, and then all the shows in June and stuff. So I'm sure we'll have some pretty big, packed episodes over the next couple weeks and months. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all on the next one.